out into the fairing factory to see how our stuff is dried up. Everything just dried up perfectly. This seat is ready for a sand out, and Glenn's going to be ready to paint. I think he wants to paint number plates on this. And actually, if I knew in the beginning, well, I guess if Glenn knew too, we have more fairings over here to work on. And our world famous Ducati purple fairings that belong to Najat. But anyway, we did this a little bit different. See, if we were really going to paint this, if I knew Glenn wanted those number plates the way he sent me a picture yesterday, we probably should have painted this white first. I always believe in painting the smallest color first and then backmasking it. Well, it didn't really turn out that way. And with paint, of course, you always have the ability to change your mind. And in the case of Vlad's fairing, I don't know. We're still waiting for some decals, but I can get some of the sanding done and get that prepped up. But right now it's just raining and it's crazy out there. But that's the challenge here, is every day, just like the motorcycles, every day you look around and you say, well, what bike do I want to ride? Where do I want to ride? Who do I want to ride with? And why am I riding at all? Well, in my case, it's my passion. Maybe yours too. Now, while I'm waiting for Glenn to get here, there's so many bad spots on this. And I'm just sanding out the whole thing. There's really no other way to correct a lot of these. There's a lot of these things have ripples and edges and just crazy stuff on this piece. But I'd like to make it a little bit nicer for Vlad if I can. I'll have time today because it's a rainy day. What I decided, I'm going to sand this whole part out. We have plenty of silver paint. Resilver it and re-clear it. Just try to make it a little bit nicer. And then Vlad's got to decide on the decals. We don't have the decals yet. I actually only have one decal. And if I were to try to make it at the quality level that these parts came out at, well, you know, all I can say is this would be probably be $2,000 worth of work. But we will try to make it as nice as we can. Again, it's a track bike and it's a rainy day, and Glenn and I are going to spend some time. We got his seat over there just waiting for him to he's got to take his daughter to school in the morning, and I always have stuff to do in the morning. Now, the biggest issue here is that, again, these parts, these are not like street bike quality parts. These are made to be super light. There's a lot of molding flaws in them, and I'm sure that they were never intended to have a really nice finish on. Most of the people, or some of the people I should say, wind up just using it just the way they come out of the mold. But we are trying to get rid of as many flaws as possible. And I know Vlad appreciates our doing the best we can. Vlad has the parts he took home that he's trying to strip the paint off. I don't know what the progress on that is. He's already called and emailed and let me know he's not going to be able to make it today. So it's just going to be Glenn and I. And sometimes when you have less people, sometimes you get more done. You never know, but there'll be a lot of sandpaper going down the drain today. And this is a great experience for Glenn because he's doing his parts. I haven't done, other than spray that last coat of red on him, he's been doing all the work and he's picking it up. And I have a surprise for him today. I bought him his own spray gun. We're gonna see how that works out. It'll be fun. Okay, so Glenn is here. We got a nice early start on this, and what you're going to have to do, just go at it a little harder than that. You want to make it all flat and dull. It's going to stop raining at 11, and then from 11 to 2, I can paint, but we won't be painting right now. You want to just make everything just like this, just dull. Get out any little dust.
I'm just going for this drip.
Yeah, okay. And you could be more aggressive than that, but believe me. But
I think I got it.
Okay, any little imperfections you have now, this is the time to get them out. Okay, this is before they went to plastic baby food jars or whatever the hell they make tanks out of now.
The inside
Used to be a nice tank.
The inside of this thing is nice and clean.
Okay,
really
beautiful.
rust-free.
All right, that Steve's an okay guy.
Yeah.
You better not say any bad things about him on these videos. Okay, so while Glenn's doing the sanding over there, by the way, we burned out another drill. Glenn donated a drill back to our cause. And you might be wondering what this is. This is, I'm waiting for the baby's birthday party. We're going to make up, I got the formula written down for these giant bubbles. Not sure if Glenn is into the giant bubbles or not.
I love giant bubbles.
We're going to try to do some...
That was my nickname in high school.
We're going to have to do some sanding and some body work here. This bike actually was dropped on both sides, right?
Yes.
Am I right or wrong?
Yes,
yeah, this side too. Yeah, there's no way, because Glenn's getting ready to do a track day here soon. No realistic way to do that other than to sand the whole tank, do the Bondo work. I'll start doing that. He's got the new decals. Always nice to have the decals in, as we found out with Vlad. The only problem with the Benelli decals, we only have one. Only one, so maybe we'll have a half a Benelli.
A Benell.
A Benell. Okay, Glenn went out to the garage to take the gas cap off the gas tank, and we're going to have to backmask it. I'm going to start doing the Bondo work on that. While he's sanding this out, it looks like it's coming out nice. Now the objective here is to get it all flat. Again, because he's got a track day coming up. And the plan that we made was we're going to get it in red, put a coat or two of clear on. I want him to practice, now that he has his own spray gun. I want him to start shooting clear. And clear is a little more difficult. Once he's happy with, of course if he gets a run, you just sand it out just like we did here. But this part I think he's real proud of, and I'm real proud of it too. This was really beat up at one point in time. And the whole idea of this is at the end of this project that he's done enough of the work that he would be able to do this on his own, and I think that's going to happen. But of course it's more fun to just hang out here and do it. But in an emergency, you know, let's say he wanted to do this in the middle of the winter, you want to patch a piece up or something, he'll have enough knowledge of the basic stuff that we do here, and we do some pretty cool stuff. I think so anyway. Now, as I've been working here, this part here, there's a giant gouge here. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do to fill it. There's so many high spots and low spots, and this is going to take probably the better part of another day just to sand it out, but I'm going to kind of let that go now because Vlad's not riding that bike today, and we're going to try to concentrate mostly on getting this done. Or once we get this drying, then I'll go back to the Benelli. It's always bouncing back and forth, especially when you have more than one guy working here.
Yeah, I want to help you.
Okay, so I'm looking at, and I masked this off. Another thing that I was just showing Glenn, where a Ducati gas tank has the fuel pump is in there and everything. If this is like the one Luciano had anyway. And what happens here is I want to have Gorilla Tape on the bottom. I don't want that to leak in any way while we're working on this, because we're going to have to, or get dust in there or anything. We're going to have to do some serious sanding up here. And luckily we have unlimited free labor over here. Well, or the guy looks a lot like me, I think. But that's the serious dent. We got to sand this real good. I got to clean the tank first with the cleaner. Get rid of these decals. There's no way you're going to save these decals, you know that, right?
Yep.
Okay. Everybody's always trying to save these decals. Are so expensive.
Where's the soup?
Now this is officially a tool. This is a very high-tech tool that we made for holding Ducati tanks. It's called a garbage can. But anyway, there's two things. I just took this tool, and it's so noisy you can hardly record it. This thing is you get a headache from it. But then what I wanted to show is you always have these little spots where the dent is. And one of the tools that Glenn, I just was showing Glenn how to do this in fact, is using this to get in that groove. And the more of that we can get out, the two objectives here are we want to make it rough so that the Bondo sticks, and I want to have a smooth transition to where that transitions out. And I don't want to make the metal any thinner than that. That's probably going to be good enough. But let me show it up close if we can. And we'll pretty much will do the other side and we're ready for some Bondo. Now this side is already rusted. This is probably the older of the two. I'm assuming he dropped the bike on one side and the next weekend dropped it on the other side. Which is nice, it balances out the repair, but you would never want to go over rust with Bondo because the rust is still going to keep rusting under the Bondo, and potentially it could lead to the piece of Bondo falling out at some point in time. So we want to get as much of that rust off as we can using the two sanders that we have. Now again, this one takes the biggest pieces out, but the problem with it is it's really noisy, really heavy. So now, if we were to leave it and leave those little rust spots in there, this could potentially be a an accident waiting to happen. So what I try to do is get as much of it as I can out. And there's still some little areas. What I'll do is I'll go get a piece of sandpaper and get as much as I can out by hand, and then we're ready actually to get some Bondo on there. But the trick is always get as much of it off and feather this in as much as possible. Just makes it easier in the final time you have to deal with this. Okay, the seat, there's only one little touch-up spot up on the edge of the seat. That's not a big deal at all. This is drying up. It's ready to be tack ragged. And it looks like the sun might be coming out. It might be on its way. And whatever time I have left over here while the paint is drying, I'll be grinding away at this fairing. But there's going to be a couple hours of grinding. There's so many little spots on this that are just... There's another one here. And they're right in the fiberglass. So it just makes for a lot of labor. This is FZR paint that's on there now. You got to sand this. Then we're gonna make the... we got to paint with your paint, with the Ducati paint, or it won't match.
Right.
So, but again, you do just what you did to the seat. Do it to this. That'll all happen while the Bondo's drying.
Perfect.
And it won't matter now how much you go through.
Because we're painting.
We're going to paint it.
But
the less you go through, the better.
Yep.
Because your paint is very thin. Mine is thick. It covers. Yours doesn't really cover. So
More of a candy or something.
it's kind of, well, it's Ducati stuff. It's made to match their bike. So, but you got the technique down. Now it's like showing somebody how to mow the grass. You do one stripe, and that is 12 acres of grass to mow. So the first thing you do is go out and buy a goat.
Hey, Mo.
That stuff at Admiral Farms, that made me rock, boy. I'm telling you, it was so much fun.
Oh, you guys look like you were having a blast, too.
Now we're waiting, and obviously the rain hasn't stopped yet, but we're getting as much of this done as we possibly can, so that when the rain actually stops, we'll be able to get out there. You got till 2 o'clock today?
Nope, got all day.
All day? Oh, we'll definitely get it done. Good. Yeah, because this is, if it stops raining, we're going to be ready to roll here.
Yeah, I got all day.
And you got that lower fairing.
Yep.
We can do that outside, so we try to, time is money here at the
You know, when you go
Yamaha factory,
when you go to pick up your car at the body shop after you hit Bambi, and you see the guys that are all covered like this, that's because I just take this stuff and I go like that, so it looks like I'm working.
Yeah.
We've been busy.
Oh, we've been eating tacos all day.
Actually, I try my best not to get dirty when I get filthy. I don't know how you stay so clean. You're used to it now.
I like being dirty. Then I don't have to worry about being dirty. It's like if you're wet, you don't care if it's raining out.
Good thing I haven't showered in a week.
I can tell. I was going to talk to you about that.
Wonder if the stink lines show up on camera.
I think we're going to find out.
Oh, it's on?
I wonder if you can smell them on camera. Then I know you're really bad.
Smell-o-vision.
But you might be wondering, why are Wendy and Glenn in such great physical shape? They're in better shape than world Olympic athletes. Well, they sand a lot of fairings. And, well, eat a lot of peanut butter sandwiches, I guess, is the answer. Now, this is coming out nice. Now, most important thing, too, radius all these edges. Because from this point on, you don't want to have that edge peel up. This remember, we're painting old stuff here. This is not all nice and shiny new stuff. So. And Glenn is going to hopefully today we got his new spray gun. We're going to move him up to the class of using the bigger spray guns where he can get big runs instead of little runs. All right, we're coming up on it here, baby. It's all it is labor. Just labor. Okay, amazingly enough, the rain seems to be stopping. Sun is coming out. And what we're going to try to do here, I want to try to get the next coat of Bondo on this. So what I've did is just rough this in with some rough paper. Hit it with the machine. And since we're going to do, it's always easier to do it in 2 steps for me anyway. Because I have to create this curve here. Really can't do that with the machine. I have to do it by hand. And a hard block. Now what I'll do is I'll put another very light coat of Bondo on top of this. And then I can final sand it. This tells me I've pretty much coming up on having the shape that I want. And I can do most of it by feel. Kind of an old school way to do it, but when we're done, we'll have a brand new tank. I guarantee it. I don't have to guarantee it. Everybody that works here knows it does not leave the shop until it's perfect. Even Vlad's stuff. Or hopefully Vlad's stuff anyway. The second coat of Bondo is on and cooking away. That's got to dry. We're coming up on the edge of having this done. How's that looking? We're going to have to do a lot of little touch-ups on that. Yep. And the seat is ready for clear. Bingo. And then whatever time's left over, I'll get Vlad's fairing. Needs a couple more hours of sanding. Well, we got the little break in the rain we're waiting for. We're all prepped up on this. Hopefully ready for our next coat of clear. Okay, now what we did, we just put 1 coat of clear on there because he's going to want to paint number plates. But there's enough clear on there that he can go to a track day, which is coming up. Come back, wet sand it all down with 1000 grit, paint the number plates on, put his numbers, decals, stickers. That'll be ready to go. Okay, as if things couldn't be better, it looks like we're going to have another, I would guess another hour of no rain, but they're predicting 2 o'clock rain. Guess we're going to have lunch at 2 o'clock. Now, what we have to do here, all of the little touch-up spots, and there's obviously these parts were in really rough shape. This is we call these crash-o-matics. You want to tack rag it down? Just.
You know what I'd like? Where's the garbage pail?
Downstairs. I got Bondo in it though. What do you want the Bondo? What do you?
I was thinking we could tilt the garbage pail this way. If I could get it high enough, or
how about the bench? Wait, I know what you're thinking.
I could go off these 2 legs and at least
garbage pail. Let me bring the garbage. Wait, we got other garbage pails. Now, because we're former Marines, we know how to improvise. We got some rocks down there. Glenn came up with, actually it's Glenn's idea, so if it falls off we can blame him. What he's got to do is run 4 or 5 light coats on there, just touch up so it gets all the same color. Then we're going to paint it with the Ducati piss water thin paint. And the reason we're using this is not matching Ducati paint. We just want to build a base up. And actually, once that's dry, I actually put a coat of clear on this if the weather holds up. Boy, we're working around a lot of stuff here though. But that's the fun of it. And it is fun. Now Glenn's over at Julie's apartment there. I don't know what they're doing, but they went into her apartment 10 minutes ago and didn't come out. I gotta check that out. Oh, now I got him on video coming out of her apartment. If he comes out, let's see. Big smile?
No big smile.
Where's Julie when we need her?
She's inside.
Okay, let's paint.
Okay, let's rock and roll.
Light coats. You know you're not going to cover that in one coat no matter what you do. So, especially reds. Just give it, blend it in a little bit. Go around the edges. The edge is important too. And actually, if we get the clear on this today, Friday, you can take it home and buff it out.
I will.
And tomorrow we can, if you want to come by tomorrow.
Yep.
Tomorrow we can do the lower fairing and the tank. I don't want to start sanding Bondo out here while you're painting. So we'll wait on the Bondo here. Okay. Yep. Be meticulous, go around and just... There's no substitute for just being patient. See, this area you're going to see. See where you're going to put your number plates?
Yep.
So you want this to be perfect.
Well, you don't want to cover this again. There's no...
No, but I mean, when you're doing a buff out and sanding and everything, it should be nice. All right. Boy, what a difference than the day you brought it over here, huh? Isn't it? You see it coming together like...
It's the same to me.
Yeah, it's like raising the Titanic with golf balls. Ping pong balls or whatever they tried to do. I don't know.
Top of the world.
But this guy, yeah, I just watched White Heat the other night. Top of the world. Now, I don't know if you're going to want to paint the inside of this with barbecue paint when you're done, or do you see the inside of the fairing?
You see it, but I'll just glaze it.
You do it with a brush. And you know what we got?
No. I'll just glaze it with a little bit of red. It's
okay.
Not,
no, I didn't know if you want it to be black or red. No. When you're riding on a track and you're passing Valentino Rossi, he won't be mad at you if it's the wrong color. Actually, I'm really impressed. You have come a long way, baby.
Feel it.
While you're doing this, I'm going to go work on Vlad's parts. So we're into it with the last coat of Bondo is on there now. Hopefully we always say it's the last coat. Once that's sanded out, that'll be ready. And I got some more sanding done on Vlad's stuff. The seat is ready to be sanded and another coat of clear. And it'll all depend on how much time we have today, because what's going to happen, it's supposed to rain at 2 o'clock and it's on the West Cooley clock, it's 12:30, means we probably got about an hour and a half. And we would like to get, if I can, even get some clear on Glenn's red thing and get it in the garage. Then we can come in here and sand Bondo, and it's like a 3-ring circus here. Okay, this is the official Ducati, thin as piss water red, which now that it's painted FZR paint, it should cover nice. Yeah, this paint would have been fine if we were starting with brand new parts. You know what I'm saying? But
yep.
Well, you know what you got to do now. See, this is what I like about it. As you pick up a skill like this, and I've been a teacher for a long time, for too long, that a lot of students just want to rush it and they get runs. And then it's just more work. You did this whole thing without a run so far. So I'm sure Luciano's impressed. All right. Now in the scoop, sometimes you have to get from the back.
Yep. To
get the back without having a problem, and sometime we have to rejig it. I don't know. We'll find out. No, so far you got it. There's a spot back here that you don't want to miss too. You got to get on your knees, yep. I think, to get down there. I missed that the first time. All right, boy. Once this red dries, as soon as you tell me it's okay, I'll mix the clear.
Hard to see
in this. You know, the thing is to beat the rain. Now it looks like it is our lucky day so far, but I don't want to be in the middle of the clear and all of a sudden you know, Butch Cassidy and raindrops keep falling on his head. Hey, one thing looks cool with that Anart camera, when you put it right behind the windshield and you're riding the rain, all the rain comes over and it looks like looks like you're in a fighter plane or something.
Very cool.
This is Glenn's first time spraying with his new gun. This is officially his gun. It was his birthday yesterday. He was kind of mad Luciano didn't buy him a present. He was thinking he could use another Ducati. Yeah, you got a lot of them, Luciano. Come on, share the wealth. Anyway, we got just enough. I don't have a mask on. And whenever you spray in this two-part stuff, really a good idea to wear a mask. Is that fitting around your beard? Good? Okay. So, you don't want to breathe this. You don't want to stick your head down in the middle of the fairing. That's for sure, but... Okay. Now, you're comfortable with that big gun? You see it puts a lot more paint on. It'll go quicker. But it's way more prone to getting a run when you're learning. So if you learn with the little gun and then go play with this one, you know what's funny? In Harbor Freight, they're the same price. They're both $14.95. All right. And this clear that Glenn brought, this is Gavin's clear that we're using. Gavin's clear doesn't have a critical time window. The other clear, the more expensive clear, you have to get all your clear on within an hour. You can't paint into the second hour, especially if it's hot. But this clear you can just put on. This is the cheapest clear and it's the easiest to use. So for Glenn, I think it serves two purposes. That he's getting a lot of track day time here. That gun's easy to use, right?
It's a little heavy.
Oh, well, but you're a tough guy. Don't be a baby.
Okay.
Now, that's, as long as if you're comfortable with it, if not, you know what to do. You can add the pressure or take the pressure away for more paint. Easy to adjust. Mixing the paint 4-to-1. No additives, no nothing in there. And what really works to our favor is we're definitely going to buff this paint out at some point in time. So if a bug flies in or you do get a little run or something, some imperfection, one fisheye, a small fisheye, you buff it out, nobody even knows. Going okay there, Chief?
Good.
I'm impressed. Maybe we should go in business. So Glenn's got on the first coat of clear here. Really nice too, it's really coming out nice. In the whole thing, and we don't care about this, there's one tiny little area up there. Let me see, hold it side by side. Oh, come on, that's so close. That's closer than the Ducati shit is. Hard to believe that seat and this fairing. I'll bet a lot of people would have put them in a dumpster. You should take a picture. Right now, you should take a picture for Joe. Joe will, and tell him you're not going to track day.
To do in this position.
Tell him you're not going to track day. The bike's coming out too good. He's going, you'll have to go to track day by yourself.
Would kill me if
oh, Luciano's already on board with that. Actually, we laugh about it, but we've had several bikes come in here that were wrecks or rebuilds or something. And when we're done restoring them, they never went to a track day because the owners, including me, decided to just make a street bike out of it. They were just too pretty. But this has been a great, great learning experience for Glenn. He's really come a long way. All right, second coat going on, and what we're going to do is hang it up in the, we're really rushing against this. See, I'm looking around like I'm Mr. Weatherby here or something. We're just trying to beat the rain because the rest of the work that we have to do today, we pretty much can do inside. So if you're a Ducati lover like Glenn is, why do they call Ducatis ducks? The question of the day as he smokes out the neighborhood. But this is funny. Julie was over here before. She wants us to refinish some furniture for her. She doesn't realize who she's dealing with here.